Bonjour, moi je m'appelle Endale Edith, épouse Ndjang. Je suis camerounaise, je suis écrivaine, femme d'affaires et aussi consultante ressources humaines. J'ai fait des études en ressources humaines, donc présentement j'ai un doctorat en ressources humaines. En plus, je suis enfant de Dieu. Oui, donc nous sommes là pour le programme de la grâce à la perfection. Qui doit être le 16 mars. Donc malheureusement je ne peux pas être là physiquement, mais nous sommes ensemble en esprit. Vu que je suis anglophone, donc je vais continuer en anglais si vous me permettez. Donc je vais continuer en anglais. Ce que j'ai fait face dans la vie, c'est vraiment le rejet pour moi, donc je vais en parler. So like I said earlier, I have had to face a lot of situations in my life that had to do with rejection. Before I did my PhD program, I got rejected from over 30 universities. I was unable to have a supervisor and my project or my proposal wasn't accepted. I have been rejected by friends, I've been rejected by family members, I've been rejected by so many situations in life. I've had to go for interviews and I knew very well that I was qualified, but I had a rejection at the end of the day. So I want to say that rejection is something that I've experienced a very, very long time in my life. And growing as a child with just a mom in a single parenting atmosphere or environment, I also had rejection from my dad in a way, okay, because I grew up with my mom. So rejection to me, it's an area that I have really experienced a lot. So that's one of the things that I've experienced. Well, the question says, what are the things that you have experienced in life? I have experienced a lot of things, but I want to limit it to rejection because rejection is one of the things that people struggle a lot with nowadays. If I have to talk about my experiences altogether, we wouldn't live here. So I'm going to talk about rejection. So the question about how I was able to overcome rejection, I would say the first thing that I did to overcome rejection was to pray to God, because at the end of the day, God is the supreme being, He's the supreme authority. So I prayed to God, I cried out to Him, I poured out my heart, and I just wanted Him to take away this feeling of reproach, of rejection. We all know that rejection is a spirit, so I had to also deal with that spirit of rejection. Also, I wrote a book. That was the next thing that I did. I wrote a book about dealing with rejection. So here you have a copy of the book that I wrote. The subsection says Rising Above Rejection. So apart from just praying to God, I also wrote a book because I saw it as a way to take out my pain, as a way to express myself, as a way to feel better, as a way to begin the healing process. So I wrote this book just to remind me of the love of God. I put down my emotions and my feelings into writing. That was the second thing that I was able to do to overcome the spirit of rejection, or to overcome that feeling of being rejected. Thirdly, I spoke with some people that are quite trustworthy. In mental health, they will tell you that if you're going through a tough time, it's good to speak to somebody. So I was able to find people that I could trust. I was able to find people that could talk me into feeling good again, to see the potential that I have in me. You know, rejection and low self-esteem go hand in hand, because at the end of the day, when you are rejected, you feel that you are not good enough, you feel that there's something wrong with you, that's why you don't get the approval that you expect or you want. You feel that there is nothing great that can ever come out of you, and you are just a bad story altogether. So meeting these people, I was able to also speak out my fears, and they were there to assure me that I am great, that I have worth, you know. So sometimes we need to speak to people, we need to rub minds, meet the right people. Again, I say the right people, because if you meet the wrong people, you will actually it's not going to help you, you know. At the end of the day, it's going to be worse. So those are the major three things that I was able to really overcome rejection. First, I prayed, I got to God, I got closer to God. Secondly, I wrote down my feelings, that at the end of the day it became a book. Thirdly, I spoke to some very great people that were able to encourage me, they were able to inspire me, to make me feel that I'm valuable enough and I have something to contribute to society. Okay, so those are the things that I was able to do to overcome. I got busy, and that was it. Les raisons pour laquelle je fais ce que je fais aujourd'hui, it's because I know that there is no experience that is ever wasted. Whatever thing that you go through in life, it's for a reason, it's for a purpose, it's for somebody out there. It might not be for you directly. So what I'm doing today, I motivate people, I encourage them, I let them know that all is not lost, that there is hope. So I do this because I know that at the end of the day, God did not just get bored to make me go through what I went through. He made me go through what I went through to be stronger, to be better, to be a better person for somebody out there, because life is too stressful and we experience a lot of painful situations in our lives that if we don't get the strength from within to overcome the situations, it's going to be really tough. So whatever situation that I went through, especially the rejection part of it, I'm using it as a ministerial function. In other words, I'm using it to fulfill purpose. I'm using it to encourage somebody. A lot of people are giving up every day. Some are committing suicide. One of the reasons could be because of low self-esteem, could be because of rejection. They feel that they are not loved, they feel that they are not wanted, they feel that people don't care about them. Now, if I am able to speak to 5 people a day for them to change their mind instead of taking their lives into their hands or committing suicide, but to have hope for the next day, then I know that my work or my job on earth is done, or it's being done. Okay, so that's why I know that I went through what I went through for a reason, for people like this, to encourage them, to make somebody see that there is hope again, to make somebody understand that life doesn't just end at what you are experiencing. You can overcome what you're facing, you can go through it, you can go over it, you can go about it, and at the end of the day there is always light. So I push people to be the best version of themselves. I am deeply aware, and I know that God has called me to do this. It's my purpose, it's my assignment. That's why I exist. I exist to encourage people, to use my experiences to encourage them. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing today, because I know that I was born to touch lives. I was born to put a smile on somebody's face. I was born to make somebody feel good again. I was born to make somebody understand that all hope is not lost, and God is still in the business of blessing people, and it's gonna work out someday. It's gonna be fine, no matter what you're going through. So that's why I'm doing what I am doing. It's my mission, it's my job. What I can tell you that you're watching me right now, I just shared with you the 3 things that I did to overcome rejection, and I said the first thing that I did was to pray. So I would advise that it's best to hold on to God, get closer to Him. It might be very difficult, especially if you're going through a tough time, but the first thing that you have to do, that I would give as an advice, is to hold on to God, because at the end of the day, you know what? He's the only one that knows how He's going to work it out for you. Okay? So instead of going to somebody first that is like you, a mortal person, it's good to go to God. Go to God, go to His throne, cry unto Him, pour your heart out, spit it out, let Him know how you feel. And that's the only area where you can get 100% comfort, because man is man at the end of the day. Then when you're done with that, get somebody that you can speak with. It helps a lot. Not just any kind of person. You don't want to tell somebody your issues and the next day your business is out there. Get somebody that you can encourage, that can encourage you. It could be a spouse, it could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be a colleague, it could be your pastor, it could be just anybody that you're comfortable with that doesn't judge you. Okay? And thirdly, I would advise that you have to take things really seriously. Like, you have to take responsibility for your life, for yourself, because these people will only tell you, they will support you, they will tell you, okay, this is what you have to do, you are great at this, but you know what? The bottom line is, you are the one that needs to make the decisions. You're the one that needs to get out of bed and do the job. They're not going to do the job for you. Okay, so in as much as you're going to pray, you're going to talk to people, you also have to do the job. If it means waking up in the morning, standing in front of your mirror and telling that mirror, the person you see on the mirror, how great that person is, then do it. If it's about using positive affirmations of how great you are, of how wonderful you are, of how unique you are on earth, and only you has that particular gift to impact your community, do it. Putting your talents into use. What do you love? What passion do you have? What is your purpose? What is your calling? And I bet you, when you start doing all those things, you identify your passion, your purpose, and you start working, you wouldn't even feel rejected. You will be too busy for that. And you're going to get that fulfillment in doing what God created you to do, in doing what you love doing, and in doing what you're great at. Okay, so get going, do something. Work on your weaknesses. Exploit your strengths, do what you love, upgrade your skills, and above all, hold on to God. Like in my case, I used to have a passage in the Bible that is Jeremiah 29:11, right down to the 13th verse, and it says, for I know the thoughts that I have towards you, thoughts of good and not of evil, to give you the future that you hope for, or to give you an expected future. Now, I held on to this word, and I reminded myself over and over, and I said, God, this is your word, and even if I'm going through this rejection, I know it's not going to last forever, because you said you know the thoughts and the plans that you have for me, plans of good and not of evil, plans of prosperity and not of pain. So at the end of the day, I know that you are in charge and you're going to do something for me. Have a verse that you're going to hold on to. Have a verse that you're going to use to remind God. Get that verse and read it to yourself, meditate on it all the time. In my case, it was Jeremiah 29:11. Yours could be different. Yours could be some other verse, but when you spend time in God's presence, it's going to drop a verse in your spirit which you would use in moments like that. So what I'm going to advise you, hold on to God, speak to trustworthy people, and work on yourself. And above all, stay positive.
Donc, la plupart du temps, les gens posent des questions comme est-ce que c'est possible qu'un chrétien vit dans des difficultés comme ça ou fait face au rejet? Oui, c'est possible, parce que en tant que chrétien, ça ne veut pas dire que la vie va être 100% jolie, beau, sans défis, sans de difficultés. Non. En fait, c'est dans les difficultés qu'on sait que vraiment on a un Dieu puissant, parce que c'est normal que tu vas aller à l'hôpital parce que tu es malade. Il n'y a aucune personne qui va aller à l'hôpital quand ils sont corrects dans leur santé. Donc tu pars à l'hôpital parce que tu veux te faire soigner. C'est la même chose. Donc si nous, on n'a jamais de problème en tant que chrétien, on n'aura pas vraiment cette relation-là avec Dieu. On ne saura pas comment Dieu pourra vraiment nous enlever des situations. On ne peut pas voir la grandeur de Dieu, on ne peut pas voir sa puissance. Donc oui, c'est possible en tant que chrétien de faire face aux problèmes de la vie, les difficultés, le rejet, c'est normal. Ensuite, en tant qu'enfant de Dieu, il y a des combats que tu vas mener, parce que le diable n'est pas content que tu es un enfant de Dieu, ça c'est vraiment normal. Donc déjà, il y a le combat spirituel qui vient du diable. Donc ce combat spirituel qui vient du diable, normalement tu auras des difficultés. Normalement le diable va essayer de te frustrer. Ok? Donc c'est pas normal si un chrétien a une vie de difficultés. Maintenant, ayant une vie de difficultés, c'est ce qui va te rapprocher de Dieu. C'est ce qui va te faire en sorte que tu vas prier. C'est ce qui va faire en sorte que tu vas lire la Bible. C'est ce qui fait en sorte que tu vas exercer tes droits en tant qu'un enfant de Dieu. Ok? Donc oui, c'est possible qu'un enfant de Dieu ait des problèmes. C'est possible qu'un enfant de Dieu ait le rejet. Mais à la fin du compte, c'est Dieu qui exauce les prières. C'est Dieu qui gagne. Donc il faut avoir dans la tête que même s'il y a des épreuves, tout va s'arranger, tout va aller bien. So thank you very much for having me. I want to thank Ren because she's the one that actually put all of this together. Thank you for trusting me enough to be able to speak in your event. Thank you so much because you believed in me. You believed that I was able to encourage somebody out there. I want to thank you, the listeners, for watching, for following through till the end. And I pray and hope that together as Christians we'll be able to overcome our difficulties positively so that we will affect our generation for good. Thank you so much and enjoy your day. God bless you.